What up, guys? Welcome back. So on today's video I want to discuss something really important, and this is on why a bank is probably one of the worst places you can put your money in. Now some of you may be wondering, like, like a bank? Is this guy crazy? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Now I know as children, or better yet, more as teenagers, more, because that's when we understand things a little bit more better. That growing up, our parents, the adults, teachers, whoever it may be, they always told us, when you grow up and you start working, save some money, put it in the bank, and it'll, give you something back in return over the course of a few years or whatever. Now that sounded really good, getting more money, just by saving your money. So, as teenagers, we were like, oh man, that's pretty awesome. I mean, I thought that was pretty awesome. So I was like, whoa. Now, growing up, and once I started getting more into investing and actually doing the numbers on these type of things with banks, man, I gotta say, we were told wrong. I mean, wrong, like terribly wrong. Like that's after all these things I came upon. This is probably the worst spot you can even think to put your money in, and here's why. I'm about to give you guys like maybe 2-3 reasons why. For one, your money is losing value due to inflation. Okay. Now, if some of you don't know what inflation is when, like every year, the price of things goes up and up and up, which is why some things are more expensive than they were like 5-10 years ago. Back then you could have got a big bag of chips of Doritos for like what, maybe $1. Now it's like $1.50 or whatever, wherever you live or wherever. I mean, this is why. So when you're putting your money in a bank, and especially a bank that offers a really low savings return rate, I mean, God, like let me give you an example. I looked up a few banks, and I just decided to mention 2 right now because I didn't want to get into too much detail on it. But one of the best banks out there that offers one of the top interest rates back on your savings with keeping it with them, is Ally Bank. And Ally Bank offers back like a 1.6% return on your money, which is, way better than what some of these other banks are offering. Okay, because let's say, for example, you put $10,000 into your savings account. Now, instead of using Ally real quick, let me use a different bank. Let's try Wells Fargo, for example. I looked up what their return interest rate was, and it was like 0.01 to 0.03. Now, that is low, like terribly low. Like, that's not even 1% at least. Like, that's like, okay, let's say, for example, that $10,000 I mentioned earlier, you put it into a Wells Fargo saving account, you leave it for a whole year, and then that whole year you might just get like $3 back. I mean, 0.03, that's if you even get the 3. If you stuck with the 1, man, that's terrible. I mean, you put $10,000 into a savings account just to get 3 measly little dollars at the end of the year. $3. You hear me? 3. I mean, what the hell? I looked at this back in school, and I was like, thinking about school, and I was like, didn't they tell us we would make a lot of money? But no. So that's only Wells Fargo. Now with Ally Bank, 1.6, that's one of the best rates you're gonna get out there, honestly, because at least you'll get $160 invest in that same $10,000. So do the math, man. Would you rather have $3 or would you have $160? But even as good as that sounds, 1.6, that's still terrible compared to if you invested into something else, man. And one example I would love to use is the stock market. On average, the S&P 500 returns on an average from, I think the lowest, if anything, like 6% to 10% or around there. If you're really good at investing, you can even make more out of that. So I mean, let's say you make the 10% after a year. So now using that same $10,000, if you get a 10% return back, you made $1,000 at the end of the year. So do the math. Would you rather have $3, $160, or $1,000 at least? Now, $1,000 may not seem like much to you at the end of the year, but that's just $10,000. I mean, if you can put more and more and more of your hard-earned money in there, then yeah, you're definitely gonna get, you know, even more out of it. So yeah, so like I said, with inflation, man, your money's just losing value. Because here's another reason. Because now with inflation, I think on yearly average, inflation percent is like 2 to 3%. So even if you have your money in the saving account with Allie at 1.6%, it's still barely beating half what inflation is. But I mean, just by half of it. I mean, not even the full thing, just half of it. So you're still losing money regardless. So it only makes sense, you know, to invest it to beat inflation. At least if you get even the 6%, you know, in the stock market, if inflation is 3%, you know, the max at least, you're still beating it by a 3% difference. So your money's a little worth more compared to, you know, just keeping it in the bank. So this is something these banks aren't telling you. They're obviously not going to tell you because, you know, they want you to put their money with them. So I'm here to tell you guys, you know, be careful what you put your money at, because in the end, it's your money that that's going to be losing worth, you know, value, when it can be making you some serious cash out there instead. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not saying banks are terrible for everything. If anything, myself, I use banks just to have my emergency money in there. And just for that, just simply that. But everything else, I invest in, man. Because if I know it can make me more money, why wouldn't I make myself more money, you know? So yeah, guys, I thought I'd bring up that up because, I mean, I hear a lot of people, you know, telling me, man, I got 8,000, 4,000 in my bank savings. And I mean, they seem so happy about it. And I'm just like, man, if you got your whole life savings in a bank, you're not making the most out of your money, you know? But yeah, guys, I mean, please, I mean, you don't even got to listen to me. Just, I mean, do some research, check it out for yourself. I mean, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Definitely, for sure. But yeah, guys, thought I'd bring up that topic real quick because, yeah, like I said, it's really important. But anyways, guys, you know, if you like these type of videos, hit that like button. You want to keep updated on my content coming up, got more of these type of videos, you know, hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit that notification button, you know, so you can be notified for more videos. And anyways, guys, hope you had a safe weekend, and I'll see you on the next video.